The sound of metal scraping against concrete echoed across the luxury car showroom. Everyone turned. A black mechanic, his overalls stained with oil, stood frozen beside a gleaming red Ferrari that refused to start. In front of him, Charles Davenport, a tall, arrogant white millionaire, smirked and crossed his arms. "Tell you what," Charles said loud enough for everyone to hear, his voice dripping with mockery. "Fix this Ferrari in 1 hour and it's yours. But if you fail, clean every car in my garage for free." The room erupted in laughter. The mechanic said nothing. He simply looked at the car, then at Charles, with calm eyes that hid something deeper, something the millionaire would soon regret ever underestimating. Because what Charles didn't know was that this quiet man once built engines that powered some of the world's fastest cars. And this Ferrari had his signature inside it. "Hey, grease boy," one of Charles's assistants sneered. "Maybe try not to scratch the paint. That thing costs more than your life." The mechanic, Marcus Reed, didn't flinch. He'd heard worse. Years of working in back alley. Garages had taught him to let words roll off like oil on metal. He placed his small toolkit on the floor and popped the hood, ignoring the laughter echoing around him. Charles leaned against a glass wall, sipping champagne. "I don't even know why I'm letting you touch my car. I just want some entertainment." Marcus glanced up briefly, his voice quiet but steady. "Cars talk, sir. You just need to listen." More laughter. Charles rolled his eyes. "Yeah? And what's this one saying?" Marcus looked down into the Ferrari's heart. The V12 engine. He ran his hands gently across the components like a doctor checking a pulse. "It's saying someone who didn't understand her tried to show off." Charles's smirk faltered. Marcus found the problem fast. A loose ignition wire, replaced incorrectly by an amateur. He tightened it with slow, confident movements, his eyes steady, his breathing calm. For him, machines were memories. He remembered being 16, sitting beside his father in their tiny garage in Georgia. His father's hands, worn and scarred, guiding him. "Every engine has a soul, son. Treat it like one." Those words became his life's rhythm until tragedy hit. A fire in the old garage took everything. His father, his home, his dreams. Marcus rebuilt his life from ashes, taking small repair jobs across towns. No one cared who he once was. Not the young engineer who designed high-performance engines for a European automaker under a contract that went bad. Not the man whose work had been stolen and patented under someone else's name. And now, standing before a billionaire's mockery, Marcus only wanted one thing: to remind himself he still knew who he was. He turned the key. The Ferrari roared to life. A deep, flawless growl shook the room. The laughter stopped instantly. Charles blinked. "Wait, how did you—" Marcus stepped back, wiped his hands, and said quietly, "Your fuel line was reversed." "A rookie mistake. Dangerous, too." Charles's jaw tightened. His pride cracked like glass. But Marcus wasn't done. He reached under the hood and pointed. "You see that tiny engraving on the left valve plate?" Charles bent closer. There, faintly carved, were the initials M.R. Marcus Reed, the same name sewn on the mechanic's chest. The millionaire straightened, speechless. "I built this engine," Marcus said calmly. 8 years ago. Before people like you decided my ideas were better with someone else's name on them." Silence filled the showroom. The only sound was the soft purr of the revived Ferrari. Charles's laughter vanished, replaced by something that looked a lot like shame, though he tried to hide it behind arrogance. "Nice story," he said stiffly. "Anyone can carve letters on metal." Marcus didn't reply. Instead, he reached into his bag and pulled out a folded document. A worn blueprint, edges yellowed by time. "This is the prototype sketch for the Davenport Velocity engine," Marcus said evenly. "The one your company claimed was discovered by your lead engineer." He pointed to the bottom corner, where his signature curved under the technical drawing. "That's my handwriting." Charles's champagne glass slipped from his hand and shattered. How did you get that?" He stammered. "It was mine before your lawyer stole it from a rejected patent submission." Marcus replied, his voice steady, his eyes unwavering. You built your brand on my stolen work? Every face in the room turned toward Charles. His assistants froze. Marcus continued, You don't have to give me the Ferrari. I don't need it. But maybe now you'll remember the people you step on to feel tall. He started to walk away. Charles's pride couldn't take it. Stop right there, he barked. You think you can embarrass me in my own showroom? Marcus turned slowly, calm as ever. I didn't embarrass you, sir. You did that yourself. Charles's face turned red. Get out Before you what? A deep voice interrupted from the doorway. Everyone turned. A tall black man in a tailored suit stepped inside, followed by 2 security officers. The millionaire's expression dropped. Mr. Harris, Charles stammered. I didn't realize. Of course you didn't, said David Harris, chairman of the Davenport Investment Board. You were too busy mocking the man who designed half our luxury line. Gasps rippled through the room. Marcus looked surprised too. Harris turned to him, smiling faintly. We've been looking for you for months. The board discovered inconsistencies in our patent archives. I knew if we waited long enough, you'd resurface. Charles's face went pale. This is absurd, he protested. He's just a mechanic. Harris cut him off. He's the engineer who built the foundation of your wealth, Charles. And you humiliated him. Marcus stood silent, uncomfortable with the sudden attention. Harris continued, The board is removing you from your position, effective immediately. We don't tolerate theft or arrogance that shames our company. Charles's lips trembled. You can't. I already have. Harris turned to Marcus. You'll receive the full royalties owed to you. Mr. Reed, and if you're interested, I'd like to offer you your old position back, head of engineering. The room was still. Marcus blinked, stunned. He glanced at the Ferrari, shining, alive again, then back at Harris. I appreciate it, he said softly. But I'm done building for people who only see a nameplate, not the person behind it. Harris nodded, understanding. Then build for yourself. Our investors would love to back whatever you create next. Marcus gave a small, grateful smile. Maybe I will. He picked up his worn toolkit and walked toward the exit. The crowd parted silently as he passed. At the doorway, he paused and looked back once more at Charles, who stood small and broken in the shadow of his own wealth. Engines are honest, Marcus said quietly. They don't care about color, money, or power. Only precision and respect. And with that, he left. Weeks later, the headlines told the rest of the story. Disgraced millionaire ousted after engineer exposes stolen designs. Former mechanic launches his own car brand, Reed Motors. Marcus's small garage became a sanctuary again. Not for fame, but for purpose. Young mechanics, many from underprivileged communities, worked beside him, learning the craft he loved. On one quiet afternoon, as the sun poured through the dusty windows, a brand new prototype gleamed under a tarp. Marcus smiled, hands resting on the hood. It wasn't a Ferrari. It was better. It was his. A familiar car engine sound approached. The same red Ferrari. Harris stepped out, grinning. I see you've been busy. Marcus chuckled softly. Some things are worth rebuilding. Harris looked around the humble garage, then said, You could have taken revenge, you know. Why walk away? Marcus wiped his hands on a cloth and said, Because revenge doesn't fix engines or people. But forgiveness, sometimes that's where the real power starts. Harris smiled. You've got a good heart, Reed. Marcus nodded slowly, looking at the engine that bore his name. Not just a good heart, he said quietly. A strong one. As the camera pulled back, the red Ferrari sat next to Marcus's new creation. 2 engines side by side. One built from arrogance, the other from redemption. In a world obsessed with titles and wealth, sometimes the truest genius wears grease-stained hands, and the loudest victories are silent, built not on revenge, but resilience.